So this is a very quick video walkthrough to show you how the breakout rooms work in Zoom. So when you're in your meeting and you've got your options at the bottom that you would normally have, you have this option for breakout rooms. When you click onto breakout rooms, it will ask you what kind of breakout rooms you want to create, whether you want to have participants in a room or number of rooms. So in this case I am going to assign my participants automatically into 2 different rooms, and you'll see then that I have this option to create the rooms. You can, in the settings of your meeting before you start the meeting, assign participants to specific breakout rooms, but that has to be done ahead of time. You can, if you want to do it manually during the session, you can use the manual option here, but we're going to just use the assign automatically and then I'll create. Okay, so once you have created your breakout rooms automatically, what you'll see here is this is my group of participants that I had that have been split into the 2 different breakout rooms. I've got breakout room 1 and I've got breakout room 2. You can see that you can rename or delete the breakout room if you want to put everybody into a different one. You can see the number of people that are in there. Similarly, if you hover over a particular person's name, it will say move them to a different breakout room, or you can swap people around. So this is your sort of breakout room panel once it gets started, and this is what will show up every time you click breakout rooms. So at this point you've got options where you can automatically close breakout rooms, so have a look at those, see if there's anything that you want to change, and basically what we're going to do now is click open all rooms, and this will assign people into their various breakout rooms. You'll see you get a little green message at the top that says all participants have been invited, and we're going to then you'll see that after the little green message disappears, you've got all of your people who are assigned to the different breakout rooms, and if hopefully now they will choose to join, and what you can see is once a participant agrees to join, the little green dot fills up here. So originally everybody had not joined, and then as people join to the rooms, and you can see now all of my participants have joined their breakout rooms. You can broadcast a message to all, and this will go as a kind of flash message across the screen to everyone, and I'm just going to put hi everyone, I'll be into the rooms soon. And that way that message has gone across to everybody in their individual breakout rooms. As a tutor, you have the option to join breakout room 1, breakout room 2, so I'm going to go into breakout room 1 first, and it'll say, do you want to join breakout room 1? Yes please. You get this join in breakout room 1, and then if you just make your panel a bit bigger so that you've got the whole screen, you can then, I'm going to start my video for a second just so that you can see what that looks like. And I can see now in this breakout room I've got Claire and Xavier, Miranda, Viv and Robert, and so hopefully everybody can hear me. So if you can hear me, if you can just pop a little message in the chat pane, just so that we know that you can hear, or a thumbs up, and perfect. So we've got somebody saying yes here, we've got thumbs up coming up in the windows as well. So this is great. You're in just this chat room now, in this breakout room, sorry, with this group of participants, and if you open up the group chat you can see the different ways of yes, everybody can hear me. So I'm going to set something up in this breakout room, and then we're going to move and go into a different one. So if this group, if you're happy, while I go and check on the other room, if you could just explore the whiteboard, the chat between yourselves, and sharing your screen so that you can see, as participants will have this share screen option in the same way you do, and they can talk between themselves. So to go into another breakout room, I'm going to use the breakout room option here, and then I can see I'm already in breakout room 1 and I want to join breakout room 2, so I'm going to go into there and move between, and you'll get this message to say you're moving between breakout rooms, and so it sometimes can take a minute, but once it's done you will be joined into the other breakout room. So it may just take a second, and then you'll see you'll always get this little panel to start with. Just make it bigger so that you've got a little bit more room, and you can see here that within this breakout room we've got Lucy and Cindy, Alicia and Ed, and as we showed before, you need to have your video on just to be able to see the thumbnail so you know who's in here. You can also see by participants, so if you don't want to have your video on in this way, I've clicked on my participants option and I can see it here. And similarly for this group, hopefully you can see and hear me okay. Can you just use the participants panel to give me a thumbs up, yes, no, that you're okay? Perfect. And as you can see on the video here, the little participants panel has got this yes, no, go slower, go faster. If you don't have that, then that's something that you can put set in your global settings, and it's not on by default, but we highly recommend it. So if you're in breakout rooms or just in a normal room with participants, if you haven't got this, have a look at our video about enabling non-verbal icons, and that will show you this part here. So again, in this group, I'm just going to close down the chat for a second. If you wouldn't mind, between you as a group, opening up a whiteboard, using the chat pane to discuss with each other and take it in turns, sharing the screen. The chat that any participants do when they're in a breakout room is only visible to the participants in that room at that time. When everybody joins the main room again, the chat will only show everything that they were all in the main room together at the start. It will then only show the people who were in the breakout rooms those conversations. As a host, you see it all, and so we've got a little pop-up message there from Lucy to say hello. And you can, as a host, go in and obviously they can hear me now, but you can go in and talk to others in that group. I also then can just use the breakout rooms option again to join into one of the other rooms. So I'm going to go back into breakout group 1 for a second and just see if they've been okay with opening up a whiteboard and using the... So here we've got that we're in the breakout room and they've been using the whiteboard. We could look at the chat and see what's been discussed, and so from there, as a participant, you can, or sorry, as a tutor, you can move between breakout rooms. So if I wanted to go back to breakout room 2, I would do, but what I'm going to do is send a message, I'm going to close all the rooms and bring everybody back to the main room. So if I click close all rooms, and it will say they will all close, return to the main session, and we're just going to bring everybody back to the main room for a second, and you'll see that they get up to 60 seconds to move. I have to unmute my microphone, so just a hint and tip is to make sure that if you come back into the main room, you may need to unmute your microphone because it may have muted it. But you can see now we've got all of our participants back. If I wanted to hit breakout rooms again, I could open the same rooms again, or I could recreate them. So you can kind of move between the two, or however many rooms you've got. It's 2 in this case. When a participant is in a breakout room, and I'm just going to reactivate the breakout rooms again and ask for someone to do the request help, but I will just do the breakout rooms first and go in and show you how that works. So let's open all the rooms again, and it flashes a little message to the students to say you've been invited to join a breakout room, and then it will move people, and I'm not in either at the moment, so I'm going to join. You can see that everybody's joining again. It takes not long for students to rejoin, even if you've had it in the main room. So I'm going to go into breakout room 1 for a second, and that just gives time for everybody to move back into their breakout rooms. Hello, breakout room 1 again. If you can hear me okay, hello, thanks Robert. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and join the other breakout room. Can you give me a few seconds and then ask for help if you would, so that we can see that coming up? So I'm just going to move. Thanks Robert and Miranda and Claire, thank you all. So let me join breakout room 2. And the process I'm showing you at the minute is that if you're in any one of the different breakout rooms, so I'm in breakout room 2 at the minute, if somebody in the other room asks for help, so you can see here that Xavier's in breakout room 1 has asked for help, you can then jump into that breakout room straight away if you can. If you click on later, they get a message to say the host is busy at the minute and can't come straight away, and they can re-request the help, and you can just make a note that you need to go and have a look in breakout room, in the other breakout room. So I'll just pop later on for now, and what can happen as well is students, if they need to, they can leave the breakout room that they're in, and it will return them to the main room. So if Lucy or Alicia or Cindy, if one of you wouldn't mind sort of leaving the breakout room and going back to the main room, so we can see there that those students have left, and if I was to leave the breakout room and go back to the main room, they would be there. So I'm just going to do that, so to show you that you can go to the main session. So if you want to see if anybody is in the main room, and we can see that Cindy, Alicia and Lucy have left their breakout room. Now I could reassign, but also, just so that you can hear, thank you all for moving into the main room again. And just for the purposes of the video, as a host you can move people around in the breakout rooms, but you can see that Alicia, Lucy and Cindy can move themselves back in. So if they've come out by mistake, then that can they can move back in. You can see on the message again that Robert's asked for help. So what we're going to do is I'm going to close the breakout rooms and go back to the main meeting. Okay. So all breakout rooms are going to close, and hopefully now we've got everybody back. Now I'll close that for a second. We've got everybody back here, so you can put people into the breakout rooms. Once you've created them, you can always go back and use them again. You can see here, you can open the room again. You can recreate and do different rooms, so you can then reassign people if you want them to work in different groups, etc. So that was just a very quick guide to breakout rooms, and there'll be additional help posted, and we can please get in touch with Digital Education if you need any further help.